Hey guys, Dewey Runs here. Happy New Year. It's January 4th, so I'm a couple days late. But we have a number of quests that I wanted to fool around with and get exposure to. So we're going to get into those. Again, a star rating system based on what does the quest look like, what's the value you get for the effort you put in, and then trash or treasure, meaning do you actually complete this quest if you get it, or do you toss in and try to get a different one instead. At the end, I'm also going to give a rating for this package of quests as a whole, which I really should have been doing in the first place. But now, based on these quests, Niantic is appearing that they might be going in a slightly different direction with quests going forward. So I think it's important to talk about that for a little bit. So let's get into it here. First one, take a snapshot of your buddy for a Snover. This is 4-star treasure. This is how the infamous take 5 snapshots quest should have been. First of all, reducing it to from 5 to 1 is great. There's no reason to have those extra 4 snapshots in there anyway. Second of all, it's bringing in a little bit of natural exposure to one of their new systems. It's showing you how to get into the buddy menu, and it's showing you how, or at least one way to get a heart off of it as well. It does actually take a little bit more time due to the clunkiness of getting into the buddy menu than the typical take 5 snapshots quests. But still, it's not significant enough to not do. So, 4-star treasure. Next one, earn 5 hearts with your buddy for a Stantler. This one is going to be 3-star treasure. In terms of the reward, I think it's 3 stars. The only thing I was hesitant about was whether or not this was something that was worth doing. So first of all, Stantler appears to be a boosted shiny rate. So grinding out quests for boosted shinies is totally fine. I recommend it if it's a shiny that you want. Second of all, earning 5 hearts is not as dire as you think it might be. You can get 5 hearts with a buddy within about 60 to 90 seconds, depending on how fluent you are with the menus, assuming you're like standing within range of a gym. So I'm going to say go ahead and do this. It's a little bit annoying going in and out of the menus, but I still think it's feasible and it's not that bad. So 3-star treasure. Next one, catch 3 normal water or ice types for a Dewgong. This is 2-star trash. Now, you have to assume that water and ice types aren't going to be very prevalent out in the wild here, right? You are either hoping for rain, and if there's rain, you're probably not playing outside in the first place, or winter, or snowy weather, which is exactly the same thing. You're not going to be out, or it's going to be rare, or even non-existent, depending on where in the world you are. So basically it comes down to 3 normal types, or hoping that there's stuff stacked in your quest stack. But if there's stuff in your stack, this probably isn't the best thing to use it on there. I think it's better for another quest, which we'll get into later. So the boosted rate for catching a Dewgong here, it's not really worth it. Yeah, it's 300 dust compared to 100 dust, but you always have to consider that if it's taking you 15 minutes to complete this, you probably lost out on, I don't know, 5 to 15 other quests that would have gotten you more than that dust in the first place, right? It's kind of similar to how if you have a job that's paying you $100,000 a year, but you have to drive 2 hours there and 2 hours back, compared to a job that's paying you $90,000 a year, but it's right down the corner from you, you can walk to it, well, the investment is not worth the payoff, right? So you're actually losing more money by driving 4 hours a day. So kind of look at it in the same regard here. So this is 2-star trash. Get rid of it. Next one, defeat a rocket grunt for a Sneasal. This is 2-star trash. This is a great example of how I say that Niantic will never ever remove something. Everything will always come back. Sneasal has been boosted in basically every single event for the past year. It's been in raids, it's been in eggs, it's been rewards for stuff, it's been in rocket battles. They can't get away from it. It's getting to the point where people are actually finding it annoying. People are getting 3 or 4 of these a day, barely even playing. So do you really still need another Shiny Sneasal, what are you going to do with it? You already have 9 of them. You've never traded one of them. Do you need a 10th one? Probably not. Rocket battles are extremely clunky and slow. So I'm going to say toss this to the curb. Don't bother. Even best case scenario, you get a shiny out of it. What are you going to do with it? So 2-star, trash it. Next one. Catch 5 fire type for a Snorunt. As bad as the Sneasal quest was, this is worse. 1-star, trash. First of all, again, Snorunt has been boosted for the last 4 months in the Catch 5 Berries quest as it is, which is way better value. Catching 5 fire type. First of all, thematically, I'm not sure what they were going for. I don't know if they were going for a guy that's cold, huddled around a fire or something like that, but the theme seems kind of off to me. Catching 5 fire type, that's a lot. And for a lame reward that you're not going to get a shiny off of, particularly a split shiny where if you want one of the genders, you have to hope for a female on top of that. Oh, this is awful. This is a terrible time investment. Get rid of it. Just wait for a little bit of snowy weather, or like one of the other 12 events that's happened in the last couple of months. Toss it to the curb. Next one, trade a Pokemon for a Galil. This is another 2-star trash. Again, I am very against quests that favor basically communicating on Discord for someone to do something with you, or the use of alts, or holding on to things that you can't physically do for extended periods of time, like if you're meeting someone 5 hours later in the day. So you just trash this. Again, the dust, similar to anything else, if you hold on to this and skip over quests in the meantime, you are actually losing out on dust. You have to figure what you're not getting in the meantime. So toss this to the curb. All right, send 10 gifts to friends for Clamperl. This is 2-star trash. Again, the gifting system, everybody knows, has to be revamped anyway, but because it's so clunky, you can't overlook that in what the evaluation of this quest is. And then the reward is, again, if you missed out on Clamperl in the first 4 events that it was boosted, guess what? It's going to come back at another time also, and your time is probably best spent invested in whatever that future event is and grinding for it. Something that's going to be a little less cumbersome than sending 10 gifts out. This is 2-star trash. Evolve a Pokemon, Eevee or Cubchoo. This is 4-star treasure. Evolving a Pokemon is a classic quest. I like how they rotate the rewards 50-50 with Eevee. I don't know what Cubchoo is really about in terms of the evolve, but it's a fine reward. 4-star treasure, do it every single time. Transfer 3 for a Lotad. This is going to be 4-star treasure. Lotad's a pretty good reward. It is hard to access because it only appears in rainy weather, and one of my huge complaints about the game is that in rainy weather, people don't play. Niantic's whole thing is about getting out there in parks and walking around, but if it's raining, you're not going to do that. Slash, you can't do it because of the phone, and it just doesn't work. So I like how they're giving you access to it through another manner. In terms of thematically, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know how transferring 3 gets you a Lotad exactly. It's not like a ghost, which it makes more sense with. But again, there's no reason not to do this because of the ease of it and the rewards you get out of it is pretty decent. 4-star treasure. Do it every single time. Next one, hatch 7 for an Alolan Vulpix. This is not as bad as you might think it is. I am giving this 3-star trash. You should still trash it, but it's headed in the right direction. This is similar to the Unova Stone quest from an event or 2 ago, where Niantic wanted you to battle 3 rocket leaders for an Unova Stone. The general direction that I like that they're going with this is that they're giving you, again, similar to Lotad, an alternative mean to get a Pokemon that's kind of hard to control. You can hatch Alolan eggs all day, but it's still random in terms of what you get. This at least gives you control over, I know exactly what I'm getting out of this, and there's no other way for me to get it otherwise. Alolan Vulpix is a boosted shiny. It's 1 in 50 as well, so it's not I mean, it's not great odds for sure, but it's not terrible odds either. So if you're desperate and you really want a Alolan Vulpix out of this, stack 3 of these and go for it. I'm not going to do it 99% of the time. I suspect a lot of people aren't, but I do like the general direction that it's going. So 3-star, trash. Finally, battle another trainer 3 times for a Shelter. The only question I have with this is, do I give it 0 or 1 star? I still think I have to hold 0 for the ultimate worst quest I've ever seen. I'm gonna round up and give this 1 star, trash. I don't really know what to say about this. Battling one trainer to cash in on something is clunky enough and weird enough as it is between getting an alt or tagging somebody on Discord. Doing it 3 times in a row, I'm not sure thematically what it's about. Why they put Shelter in there? I kind of know why Shelter went in there, but they could have gone with something else. I'll get to that next. This is just a bad reward. I realize that some biome Shelter is rare, but again, it has been put out into other events before, and making someone battle 3 times for it is not right. And it's a non-boosted shiny, so you're getting an 82% purple Shelter out of this. So this is insta trash, 1 star. All right, so finally, I want to put all these quests together because if you haven't noticed, they actually all have a theme with each other. And there's a nice water theme around it. It actually goes with the field research breakthrough of a Lapras, which is water and ice. So if you notice, every single one of these is either a ice or a water type, right? So you have Shelter, Alolan Vulpix, Lotad, Cubchoo, Clamperl, etc. Stantler's probably the one exception, but otherwise they're all water or ice type. And I kind of like that. It kind of indicates to me, because I'm assuming, or I know that Lapras is only the breakthrough reward for January. So since these are tied in for that month, it might kind of indicate that in the next month they are going to have another theme with another set of quests. And this is great. The previous year and a half or so, Niantic had been putting in the same quests for 3 or 4 month periods with no rotation. And they were seemingly completely random. None of them had any connection with each other. It's like they took a dartboard with what the task was, the number you needed, and what the reward was. They threw a dart and said you need to catch 4 fire or electric types for a mining. Like, it made no sense whatsoever. So the fact that these are all tied in thematically together and with the field research, I think is great. I think it's even better if this is kind of indicating that they're looking to rotating the standardized quests on a monthly basis as well. It keeps the game fresh. It gives people access to more types more frequently. So I think that's a good thing. There is also one last quest I didn't review, and I wanted to bring it into here as well, and that was catch 3 different ice types for 3 rare candy, which I'm actually going to give 4-star treasure with an asterisk, and that is assuming you have a decent stack in your quest stack there. Okay, if you look at all these quests, almost all these quests give some type of an ice type Pokemon, or maybe about half of them do. But still, if you're just stacking them and you have a decent stack in there and you come upon 2, maybe if you get lucky, 3 of these in a row, go into your stack, take a couple minutes, and catch 3 different ice types for it. You're probably not going to find them in the wild, like I said, but if they're in your stack, 3, 6, or 9 rare candy for catching 3 different types of these really quickly, I think is phenomenal value. And you wouldn't be able to have this type of a quest if they didn't arrange all the quests in this package together in the first place. This quest in the previous rotation would have been 1-star trash, because there would have been no way to catch 3 different ice types. So I really like the direction they're going with this. I still think the individual value, if you take each quest out and evacuate and rate it individually, is pretty poor on the whole. However, if you kind of put all of them together and turn it in with the 3 rare candy and the thematically and all of that, it's a little bit better. They still have a lot of improvement to go, but again, it's a step in the right direction, assuming that they actually rotate these out for the month of February. So as a result, I'm giving the overall package of these quests 3 out of 5 stars. Very nice job. Let's try to improve it going forward, but a nice start for 2020. So thanks for tuning in here. A little bit of longer of a video, but because we had more quests, it was obviously necessary. If you want any more of my videos in the future, just hit the subscribe button there, I think. This is Dewey Runs, checking out.